Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Thursday. Markets were up actually today. Bitcoin is actually down right now. It was up a little bit during the day, but it has obviously fallen back down. So we'll take a look at obviously Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the miners, see how they did today. It was a mixed bag of the miners as well. We'll take a look at them. And then we'll also take a look at Bitmain and Canon current Asic prices for their miners. Prices have obviously come way down, so we'll kind of take a look at see what the prices are right now. And we'll also take a look at the current list of miners that have reported their quarterly reports. We'll see what the three miners are that beat previous quarterly revenues, and then we'll take a look at the other revenues as well for the other ones, see how they all stack up. And that's it. We'll call it a pretty easy day. I was trying to find some other stories out there about Bitcoin, Ethereum, but there's nothing really interesting going on. So I'm just going to avoid that. We'll get into some of the cool stuff here. All right. So as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. I'm investing in the following coins and companies. Full disclosure as always. Thank you for joining us, and let's get into it. So here we go. NASDAQ was up 0.21% today. Dow Jones was up 0.11%, and the S&P 500 was up 0.23%, while Bitcoin has been struggling here a little bit. So Bitcoin is at 23,168 right now. It peaked today as far as the high price at 23,600. I couldn't get above that, and it's obviously trending down lower right now. And we're seeing the RSI obviously coming down as well. I think what might happen here is we've kind of seen this step approach here in the last several trading days here in the last month, I would say, going back all the way to July, beginning of July. So we had this up, then we came down, we went back up even higher, came back down to pretty much to the previous high here almost on the RSI. And then we went up again. We came back down a little bit, went back up. And so I'm thinking we may come down to like the 22,300 mark, somewhere around there. If that doesn't hold, we'll obviously come back down to maybe around the 20,000 mark. That's kind of where our support is here at 20,700 or so. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But it looks like the RSI, each time from here, each time it's gone up, it has kind of bounced off of this like 44 on the RSI mark. So we'll see how that one goes. Looking at the 1 hour chart, we can see here that we're obviously... RSI is kind of flat. We went up, obviously, but we're down now, and it's kind of flat here, but prices come down. That's a little concerning. That's why I'm saying we may come down a little bit more before all of this is said and done. Ethereum is at 1,846 right now, and it's doing the same thing, obviously. Price has been coming down pretty hard here. It's in the last hour or so. On the day, it's still looking like it wants to stay green. We're at up, 0.7% roughly on the day right now, with about 29 minutes left to go in the day. So we'll see. RSI has been in the middle here as well, around 59. So it's kind of similar to what Bitcoin's doing right now. Let's take a look at the miners here really quick, and then we'll get into the ASIC miners themselves. So ANY was down 1.57% today to 75 cents. Argo was down 4.37% to 56 cents. Digital was down it was up actually 0.58% to $1.74. Bitfarms was down down 4.97 to $1.72. CleanSpark was up 1.96% to $5.19. Core Scientific was up 0.69% to $2.91. DigiHost was down 7% to $1.18. DMG was down 2.28% to 27 cents. Greenwich was down 9.67% to $3.27. Hive was actually up today 1.77% to $6.32. And HUT was actually down quite a bit, over 10% today to $2.96. Down, it's been going down for the past 3 days. Obviously, the news of them doing a 200 ATM is not helping the situation here. Hearing a lot of people are selling that stock right now. For that reason, just because of concern on dilution. The only thing is, obviously, we don't know when they're going to convert the shares into actual capital. So it's kind of like your ATM. It could be down the road when prices are higher, or we just don't know. So that's why there's a lot of uncertainty in HUT right now. Iris Energy was up 7.71% today to $5.73. Luxfolio was up 1.1, basically 1% up to 9 cents. Marathon was up 0.91% to $15.59. Mawson was down 2.39% to 85 cents. Riot was down 0.84% to $8.28. And Stronghold was down 6.72% to $2.22. And they've obviously been coming down in price ever since they reported that they pretty much had to get rid of most, or hand over most of their miners because of the loan. So that's the reason for that. And like I said, it was a mixed bag on the miners here. So let's take a look at some of the cool things here. Searching for logos here. All right, here is Bitmain's website right now, and we're looking at the obviously Bitcoin miners here. So we're looking at the S19 Pro. You can see here that currently the spot price for this, so if anybody wanted to buy it right now, you can get this for $4,400. That's basically $40 per terahash. I'm guessing the miners, if they wanted to buy this, they could probably get this a lot lower, probably 20-25% cheaper. So we're looking at probably $30 per terahash on that. So that would be, what, $3,300 per miner on that possibly. And then you obviously have the other miners here, the S19 Hydro, the T19 Hydro, and the S19 XP Hydro, which those you have to order in bulk. But you can see that the T19 Hydro is basically $15 per terahash. Bad thing about that one is it's 5,438 watts, which isn't as efficient as the S19 Pro. Or if we look at the obviously Bitcoin miner S19 XP, which is 140 terahash and it's only 3,010 watts. So 21.5 joules per terahash, which is a lot better. We don't have any pricing on that, but I'm guessing it would probably be around the $35 to $40 terahash mark for large institutional buyers that are going to be buying hundreds of thousands of these. Obviously, for us, the price is what it is, but for large-scale institutions, you're getting that at a lot better price, obviously. So I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if this one here, 140 terahash miner S19 XP, is going for $35 for the institutional buyers, and that would be, what is that, 140 times 35. We're looking at about $5,000 per miner, which isn't too bad, comparing that it used to be a heck of a lot more. So if we look at the Wayback Machine here on the shop for Bitmain, we can see here that the Antminer S19 XP back on, when was this? This was January 5th of this year, was going for $11,620 was the price for it. And you could get the Antminer S19J Pro, that was going to be $12,000 for that one, shipping in 5 working days. So you can get that one faster for more dollars. Wait until October or October shipments on this one for $11,620. So obviously prices have come way down on the miners. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the institutional miners are getting a lot better deal than what you or I could get buying 1 to 10 miners of these. So those are always going to be better pricing for them. And then looking at Canon here, Canon has look at this, 51% off, 51% off, 43% off, 53% off on some of the miners. Obviously, those are 68 terahash. I wouldn't touch those with a 10-foot pole. But like some of the other ones that are 93 terahash, those are actually not too bad. We want to be at least around 93, 87 terahash. Those are going for $2,000. This one's $3,000. So prices have come way down, obviously. And that's basically because Bitcoin has come way down over the 6 months. Well, now we're in the 8th month. But over the past 7 months, Bitcoin has obviously fallen really hard. So this is obviously a supply and demand issue. There's more supply now. Prices are coming down. The demand is also based on economics on Bitcoin, your ROI on it. And we're seeing the prices come down. So this is expected. And right now is actually a really good time, I think, for the miners that do have capital to put the capital to work for them and possibly buy some of these cheap miners right now. We probably will, given the evolution that we've seen in Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners, that they will eventually come out with newer products that have better terahash speeds, more efficient, but those are probably still at least 6 to 12 months out, if not more, to 18 months. We do know that some of the other companies, I think Samsung's getting into the 3 nanometer space with the Asics. That should lower, obviously, the power consumption and everything else, but that's still way off from that. And like I said, we'll just have to see what the actual miners provide us. There aren't too many that are actually providing any news other than, little press releases here that they're going to be using the funding from the ATM program to, fund growth and mergers and acquisitions, things like that. So I think right now is a good time to buy. You want to buy in the bear market, and then you'll be ready for the bull market, I would think. Okay, so we've covered the miners here as far as what the price has obviously come down. We've seen huge declines in that. And let's take a look at the miners here that are actually reported for their Q2, or for some instances it's Q1. For like Hive, I think is Q1. But I pulled in all this data here into one little spreadsheet. And we're still waiting, obviously, for Argo, Bit Digital. We're waiting also for DMG, Iris, and Mawson to report. I think Mawson's going to report next week, or Iris is supposed to report next week. When they do, we'll do a full deep dive into this, and we'll also probably take a look at what it costs for them to mine, a Bitcoin, basically, what the costs are associated once we have all that data for them for the current quarter or previous quarter they're reporting on. So right now, looking at this, the way things are, just on this group here, we can see that Bitfarms, previous quarter was 40.3 million, current quarter was 41.8 million. They actually beat their previous quarter by 1.4, almost 1.5 million. That is an increase of 3.685% in revenue, which is really tremendous that they were able to do that, given how much, if you look at the chart here, this is the red area here is from basically April, May, and June. Bitcoin has come down in 90 days about 57%, or down about 26,424 and change from where it was at the end of March. So a huge drop there. It's really astounding that they were able to pull this off, that they were actually positive on the difference between the two quarters, the previous quarter and now this quarter that they just reported on. So they're one of them. The other one is as well as DigiHost. So DigiHost was at 7.3 million in Q1. Q2 was 7.4. So they beat it by 148,000, basically 2%, which was really good as well. And then the other one was Sphere 3D. Sphere 3D reported 700,000 for Q1 and 1.2 million for Q2. That was a beat of 511,000, which was good. And that's basically 73% increase. So they have obviously very low petahash right now. As far as miners go, I think they have like 100 petahash right now, if my memory serves me correct. So it doesn't take much for them to make a lot more money. You just got to increase it a little bit, and you can see huge gains on it, obviously. Whereas some of the other guys like Riot, Marathon, and Core even, they already have so high petahash or exahash rates that it takes a lot more exahash added to it for them to be, profitable, especially in a bear market when Bitcoin's coming down, and for them to have a positive quarter over quarter, basically. So CleanSpark came in at 36.9 million for the previous quarter. Q2 was 30 million. They're down about 6 million from that, so they had a hard time, obviously, 16% down. Core Scientific was down 17%. Greenedge was down 13%. Hive was actually down 11%, and then Hut, surprisingly, was down 20% from that. Marathon, Marathon has had problems with getting miners installed and activated and energized, and they had problems with their power plant that, had a thunderstorm roll through and created havoc for them. So they were down 51%, which is really bad. And then Riot is down 20%. So it seems like between 20 and 20 and 10% seems like the average here as far as how much the miners went down, which is still pretty good considering Bitcoin fell 57% in that same time period. So if you average it out, so we're looking at about a 25%, 27% or so drop in Bitcoin on average. These guys at least beat that by being down less than that, fortunately, except for Marathon. But once we get more data on the other miners, Argo, Bit Digital, DMG, Iris, and Mawson, we'll see who else actually beat it. But congrats to those that have so far beat it in Q2 from Q1. I would think that would make it much more easier for them to beat it in Q3 as well. But we'll see. And then we'll take a look at also their cost to mine everything, and we'll put it on the spreadsheet here for you guys. So if you guys enjoy these types of videos, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously, and the spreadsheet is always available to my Patreon members. Thank you to everyone there for their support. It means the world to me, and that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. Tomorrow's Friday, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. If we get any quarterly results or anything like that from the miners, we'll also do a video possibly on Saturday about the miners versus Bitcoin, see how they did, and got a couple other videos that I'm working on, and we'll see. That's it. Thanks so much. Have a good one.